You ever been in one of those situations where everyone knows something is a lie, but you all just kind of go along with it? Today, we're digging into this wild and fascinating concept called hypernormalization, when a fake reality pretty much becomes the only reality there is.
All right, to really get this, let's start with a story. Just imagine for a second, you're working on this huge, super important project, and it is a total, complete failure. But here's the twist. It's not a secret, not even close. Everybody knows.
So, let's paint a picture. You're part of the innovation division at some giant corporation, and your team's big, shiny goal is to build this game-changing AI product. Let's call it Project X. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, maybe not so much.
Because the reality of Project X is, well, it's pretty grim. The code is just a mess. The tech itself, it just doesn't work. The deadline? That was 2 years ago. The budget? Completely gone. And here's the kicker. This isn't some deep, dark secret. The CEO knows it's failing. Your manager knows. And yeah, you know. Everybody knows. It's the definition of an open secret.
Okay, but this is where it gets really, really weird. I mean, common sense says this whole department should be shut down, right? But nope, it's not. In fact, you're actually hiring more people. Your manager just got the green light to bring new folks onto this sinking ship. How on earth is that possible? So, how does a total train wreck like this keep chugging along? Well, it all starts with the words people use. To keep this whole thing from collapsing, this massive gap opens up between what's really happening and what everyone says is happening.
Think about your weekly status update. You can't just stand up and say, yeah, we spent all week fixing bugs that we created, and honestly, the product is probably worse than it was last month. No way. You have to speak the official language, the discourse. So instead, you say you're optimizing synergy and pivoting. It's this corporate nonsense that has absolutely nothing to do with reality anymore.
I mean, what does that even mean? It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. But see, in an environment like this, language isn't about communication anymore. It's not about facts. It becomes a ritual. It's how you prove you're on the team, that you're playing the game. It's a way to signal your loyalty to the system, even when you know, deep down, the whole system is fake.
And this is where things get really crucial, because this isn't just about one person telling a little lie. This becomes a system. It's a system of mutual pretense where everyone, and I mean everyone, agrees to pretend together.
And it's really important to get this. This is totally different from a normal lie, right? If I tell a lie, I'm trying to deceive you. I hope you believe it. But in this situation, it's different. I say something fake, you know it's fake, I know that you know it's fake, but we both just kind of nod and pretend it's real. Why? Because actually admitting the truth would just cause too many problems for everyone.
And this goes all the way up the chain. The CEO gets that report from your manager. He's not an idiot. He knows that synergistic optimization is just corporate speak for, we got nothing done. But what's he going to do? If he comes out and says the company's biggest project is a failure, the stock will tank. So he plays along. He has to keep things stable. And just like that, he's part of the lie too.
And this all leads to the final, most incredible step, the moment the simulation totally takes over. The big shareholder meeting is coming up. You can't show them the actual product. It doesn't work. So what do? You build a fake demo, a slick video that looks like a working app. And guess what? The shareholders love it. The stock price shoots up, and you even get a promotion, all for a product that doesn't exist. The fake reality is now creating very, very real results.
Now, this whole crazy corporate story we just walked through, it's not just some funny little thought experiment. It's actually an analogy for a really powerful social theory, a theory that has a name, and it was first used to describe the last, very weird days of the Soviet Union.
So, what do you call this bizarre state of mind? This place where everyone is knowingly participating in a shared lie, simply because dealing with the truth feels impossible.
It's called hypernormalization. The term was dreamed up by an anthropologist named Alexei Yurchak. He described it as a state where everyone knows the system is failing, but since nobody can even imagine an alternative, they all just pretend it works. The fake reality becomes so normal, it becomes, well, hyper-normal.
And it's really important to see how this is different from, say, just standard corruption. In a normal corrupt system, the leaders are trying to hide the truth from the people. But in hypernormalization, everybody is helping to hide the truth from everybody else.
The leaders don't actually care if you believe them. They just care that you act like you believe them. The goal isn't to steal or grab power, it's just to keep the whole fragile system from falling apart.
And here's a really counterintuitive part. You'd think that being cynical about it all, making jokes with your coworkers about how fake Project X is, would be a way to fight back. But in a hyper-normalized system, it's the exact opposite. That cynicism, that irony, it's like a pressure valve. It lets you blow off steam about the lie, which makes it easier to then go back to your desk and keep living the lie. So, believe it or not, your cynicism actually helps keep the whole thing going.
So how does a system like this finally break? I mean, when you're inside it, it can feel like it's going to last forever. But the truth is, being so disconnected from reality is exactly what makes it so incredibly fragile. See, a hyper-normalized system can't handle a head-on collision with something undeniably real. So, back in our story, what happens? A competitor launches an AI product that actually works. Boom. Just like that, the illusion is shattered. The game is up. Your fake project, the one that was worth millions on paper yesterday, is suddenly worth absolutely nothing.
And the weird thing is, when the collapse finally comes, everyone feels two completely opposite things at the same time. On the one hand, it's a total shock, because just yesterday, the system was acting like it was permanent and perfect. But on the other hand, it's not a shock at all. It's what everyone secretly expected all along. Because everyone knew, deep down, that the whole thing was a house of cards.
And this idea isn't just about our fake company or the old Soviet Union. You can see echoes of it everywhere. Think about the 2008 financial crisis. You had this whole system pretending that incredibly risky assets were super valuable, right up until they weren't. Or think about social media. You've got influencers and their followers both playing a part in this performance of a perfect life, a performance that both sides know is totally curated and not quite real.
So that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. Now that you have this new lens, this idea of hypernormalization, where do you see it? Where in the world around you do you see this performance of reality taking place? Where do you see us all collectively agreeing to pretend that the fake version of things is the real one?